Hey, I'm Kathy Zalewski with Realty One Group Peak in Bozeman.
And I'm Kaila Henry, also at Realty One Group Peak in Bozeman.
And so today, Kayla and I were thinking that it might be enlightening to just share with some buyers what the expectation is when we are taking you out to show you some homes. Um, I will start with an easy one. Expectation is that you're on time. Even if the home is vacant, there could be other agents that are planning on showing the property, but more so if the home is occupied, we need to be on time. Those people corralled their cats, dogs, kids. They cleaned for us. They likely timed or did not eat so that their house didn't smell particularly like pancakes or Indian food. I don't know, but be on time. So that is everybody's goal to always be on time, but it's especially important when we're making appointments at homes that are occupied.
And even more so if you're planning on doing a full tour, which we'll often do with people.
Yes.
Keep in mind, we've got, we're planning out drive times and scheduling certain blocks of time to be in each home. So if you start 15 minutes late, it can truly throw off the whole day by quite a bit of time, meaning you maybe won't get to see one of the properties or something along those lines. So I do think just trying to really keep in mind that there is somewhat of a schedule. Yes, it's our job to try and make it as easy and feel like there's no schedule and just very seamless. But it's a lot of work behind the scenes, and it's harder than it maybe seems. So
Well, and along with that, Kayla, you just triggered me to think about, hey, I'm probably going to send you in advance the night before, probably. This is
yep.
the list that I have, and this is the order because we're going from Livingston to Three Forks, and that's going to take some time. I've packed a lunch for you, or a snackle
Snacks. I
box or
mean, we keep
something.
water in our cars for these reasons.
Right.
It can really be a big undertaking if you're doing a full day of touring.
Right. So if you take a look at that list and you know for sure you do not want to see three of the six houses we're planning on seeing, please let me know in advance because, again, those sellers probably are preparing for your arrival. They might be planning an outing just so that they're not home when you come to see their house. It's important. And it also, that schedule can get way out of whack if we skip a few. So, yeah, please participate.
And that just triggered me, Kathy. Sometimes it's easy to just pop into a house if it's vacant and just like check it out. But other times I feel like we've had some clients be like, well, I'm not really interested in one bedroom, but I'd like to just see it. Right? If you're asking somebody to vacate their home, get it ready for showings, it's a lot of work to be a seller. We've talked about this in other videos. Keep in mind that, maybe that's a property we will just skip and maybe we'll find a vacant one that is you maybe want to look at
Similar.
more.
Yeah.
So just keeping in mind both sides of the transaction a little bit. Again, we want to get you on all the properties that you want to see. That's our job, and we certainly want to help facilitate that. But keeping in mind some of the certain things. And I know for me a lot, sometimes I'll text clients and say, hey, I'm not sure if you want to see this one because I happen to know that they're planning on connecting these two roads. And so this field that's behind your home probably won't be a field in 5 years. Again, I'm not trying to be negative. We just want you to have all the information. So even though sometimes it can feel like we're maybe constantly or somewhat combating every property you send us, there's a specific goal behind it. Is because we don't want to waste your time in seeing properties that you're not going to be into, and we don't want to waste the seller's time, and of course we don't want to waste our time either. So there's a reason behind digging into some of the properties a little bit before you
Yeah,
schedule
absolutely.
tours.
So you show up on time and we're going to walk into this house now and it's an occupied property. Um,
Let's say, sorry, backing up. Number one, you show up at the house. Hopefully, your agent or someone will maybe notify you whether there's a Ring doorbell there.
yeah,
So I always tell my clients, just pretend like there is one. We're not going to discuss how much you may or may not love the home. We're not discussing their personal style. And we're certainly not discussing any offer strategies anywhere near the home.
right. Front yard, driveway, nowhere.
Anywhere near it.
We'll do that later.
Yeah.
But okay, so you've arrived and you're on time. Excellent. So when we go into the home, the door, the Ring doorbell is super important to remember. Not that we don't want to hear what you have to say, but and your thoughts on the home, but definitely keep in mind that that might be an issue. I would say the next thing is we want you to not get distracted if at all possible. meaning you're there to see the home, not their furnishings, not their war medals, not their, oh, they went to University of South Dakota. Wow, I wonder what year. Oh, look, 76. Man, I wonder if they know my dad. Focus. Let's try and look at the house and not decide right off the bat if we need to become best friends with these people, because if I see a Packer, thing, I get very distracted because go Packers, right? But yes, it is very easy to kind of get distracted by the things and the furnishings and the personal items that are in the home. So try not to do that.
Yeah, I'd say really keeping a keen eye for layout, the functionality of the home and what might work for you, appliance ages, kind of those things, trying to really focus in on what is conveying with the home, which would not typically be the furniture, and just making sure that, again, the location and all of those more major things work for you and your family or whoever else might be living in the house with you.
Right. Go ahead.
I think piggybacking off of that, to me, the other thing is let's keep our hands to ourselves, right? So we are in somebody's home. It may be a rental, it may be someone's personal residence, and it may be vacant, but just keeping in mind, it is not our home, our space. So let's always remember to treat it with the respect you would hope someone would treat your property with.
It is not a furniture store either, meaning that pulling up a chair and making yourself comfortable is not necessarily what we're there to do. I think kind of piggybacking on top of this little, it's really hard for little kids to keep their hands in their pockets. And certainly there are times when they absolutely have to come with you. And I get that, but please make it your job and not my job to keep their hands in their pockets. And that as well goes for adults, right? Like, this is not your inspection period. There's no reason to turn on every faucet, try every light switch, open the refrigerator, open cabinets under the sink. That's not what we're here for right now. We're just determining if this home fits your needs. Is this the right layout for you? Is this the right location for you? Does it face the right direction? Is it getting the right kind of light? All of that kind of stuff is why we're there. Not what are they eating for dinner tonight, or there will be a time to test water pressure and make sure all the toilets work and all that kind of stuff. This is not it.
Well, and I think the real reason too, keep in mind, we're liable for if we break something in their home, right? So it seems like a small thing, turning on water, but if all of a sudden that faucet falls off and then there's water spewing, that's on us, on you, because we messed it up. And so that's why we like to have home inspectors who are licensed and insured professionals checking all of those things out for us, because if they mess up something, they will take care of it. It's not on us. So just, again, really being mindful for the fact that you are in somebody's house. I know I've had buyers playing with people's blinds, and then the blinds get all tangled because they don't know how to work them. And it just...
Or, why won't this work? Well, it's on a remote control and it's power, and that's over there. And we would have known that had we just slowed down a minute. Or if the seller had known that we were serious and there for our inspection period, they might have left us a note.
Yeah, and so again, just really focusing, like Kathy said, on those bigger picture things of, is the home a space you can truly see yourself living in, excited about, based off of the larger exterior factors.
Yeah, I said this to Kaila earlier. There's no reason to you or your kids or anybody else test out the bed because you're not buying the bed. So don't sit on it, don't touch it. And a big no-no that I have is, hey, sometimes these tours are long, and I get it. If you have to use the bathroom, let me know. We'll stop at a gas station, because in my book, and this
can vary.
Right, it can vary, but in my book, it is not appropriate, even in a vacant listing, to use the bathroom. So you're in somebody else's home. I have had sellers that have taken out all of the toilet paper in all of the bathrooms to avoid that. And good on them, because if it was going to bother them, it's good that they kind of alleviated that. But I would prefer not to have that be an issue at all. So you can let me know, hey, we need to make a quick pit stop. Okay, great.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
One other thing, I think that, again, not our inspection period. So truly, there is no reason to turn on every faucet. There is no reason to test the garbage disposal, or put up and down the garage door, or any of those things. If these things don't work, we will find out during the inspection period. But your inspection period starts once you have an accepted offer. The people whose homes are on the market, sellers are not giving you that right just to come and see the home. So please keep that in mind when you are kind of walking through somebody else's house.
And keep in mind, I would say there is a rhyme and a reason for it. So there's a reason we have the inspection period after we've come in agreement on an offer, and that is because we've secured the major terms: price, contingencies, and some timelines, right? So I do think that there is a specific rhyme or reason for why we're making these recommendations, and that is because, again, these systems kind of work and we have them set up a way that benefits both buyers and sellers.
Right. And I would say, kind of backing up a little bit too, if you do need to bring your kids, again, we get it, occasionally that happens. But as the people that are buying the home, it is best if you can focus while you're here. And I've never seen it go well. I just really haven't seen it go well. Kids are in a new place and they're super excited and they're like, oh, is this going to be my bedroom? Is this? And they're distracting you the entire time that you're looking. And you might miss the fact that, oh, hey, there's no half bath on the first floor. So anybody has to go upstairs any guest would have to go upstairs and use the kids' bathroom. You might have missed that entirely because you were distracted. You might have missed the fact that, wow, the kitchen doesn't have any upper cabinets. And how am I going to keep just because you're like, oh, this is really pretty, instead of giving yourself 2 minutes to just focus, okay, where do I put my mixer? Where do I put my toaster oven? Where do I put my fondue pot? I don't know. But
I think again, what it comes back to is let's just make really good use of our time, right? And that's for your benefit. I know everybody is very busy and, again, hard to find childcare sometimes, all of those things. But while we're here, let's make sure that we're really making the best use of the time, because a lot of people have kind of worked some things around to make this happen.
Yeah.
And set it up. So
anything else in terms of buyers?
That's what I have for buyers and showings. Just definitely make sure that you're aware and engaged is what I always like to say, and that we're not, looking at homes that really don't make sense. I think one of my biggest things I frequently ask my clients is, did you click on the map, right? We love these interior photos and this is so beautiful, but you've told me you don't want to be a busy street, and this home backs up to Oak. That's only going to be busier and busier. So just kind of taking a minute to truly, again, investigate the property. I'm going to say it at a very surface level online, right? So do we like the location? Do we like what's, potentially around it? And of course the photos. If we like all of those things and we know, a surface look, absolutely, let's go take a look at the property, because I do think getting into places is truly the best way to start to get a feel for, number one, our market, and for what also might make sense for you guys, and again, kind of where the market is at. So,
and yeah, definitely. We're going to give you the information in advance, of course, before we make the showing appointment. So maybe even that's the time to do a drive-by. You might be able to eliminate the property just by figuring out, what's next door to it or what it backs up to or whatever. And that might save everybody a lot of time and you a lot of time, especially if you do have to find childcare or something like that. Take time off work to go look at a home. So we're only telling you these little details to help make the whole process more enjoyable and smoother, both for us as your agents, but also for you. There's a lot of things that can happen and a lot of things that get a little bit distracting. I guess one more tidbit. Some people come to town and they're like, yeah, well, we can look at properties from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Well, okay, but if at noon you ask me what was that first one again, I'm going to say, hey, we're done for the day, because a person cannot take in that much. You won't remember what you saw.
I don't like to show more than 6 properties. That is almost my cutoff, because I think they just start to blur together. I don't find it to be helpful. The scheduling gets very complicated, and I just don't find it to be helpful for clients anymore, because just like Kathy said, you just simply can't remember and compare them strategically. And so we, of course, want to show you homes, again, trying to be really mindful about which ones you're really taking a look at, so that you're not, again, wasting your time, but also you're really looking at places that truly meet your needs.
Right. And it can be very different. I had some people with me this summer, and we were like halfway to Livingston, all the way down Jackson Creek Road. Then we were all the way up Bridger Canyon. We were out at Mount Ellis. We were all the way up Spring Hill, way out Spring Hill. And if you don't know Bozeman really well, which these people didn't, so I was giving them a tour.
Which We do that,
Right.
right? It's not about really drive time, but how many properties were you seeing?
Yeah, I think we did 7 like the first day, and we didn't start until 2. And then, but I mean, anyway, all that being said, also it gets a little confusing. Well, how far is that from town again? Because we've been in the car for 5 hours. Like, so you're going to need a break. The realtor's going to need a break. The more investigation you can do and rule some things out, even maybe prior to coming to town to look at things, or come to town and take a day. I'll give you 6 homes, that are kind of in different locations. You drive out to all those homes and then you say, hey, you know what? We really like Bridger Canyon the best. Okay, great. Now we can focus out there. Well, maybe that doesn't quite fit the need. Well, at least we've kind of eliminated some other things. You've gotten a personal idea of how long it takes to get from Spring Hill to a grocery store. Those are great ways to make your time most effective. And yes, that's outside of an actual showing, but it is definitely part of the process.
I think so. And again, aware and involved, right? We can't do it all. We're certainly here to help you, but let's work together and find a way to make things go smoothly and as most pleasurably as possible.
Yeah. So we're excited to show you homes whenever you're ready. You can certainly reach out to us. Our contact information is all over the internet. Please subscribe and like, because we're going to have some more interesting videos coming up. Thanks so much.